My affair partner told me he couldn't protect my secret. My affair partner told me he couldn't protect my secret anymore. He said it on a Sunday morning while we were sitting in his car. I can't keep doing this. I stared at him. What do you mean? He looked at me for a long time, then he said, Your husband knows. My heart stopped. What? Daniel knows about us? I shook my head. No, he doesn't. Marcus looked away. I thought he didn't either. What changed? He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. There was a message on the screen. From my husband. I know. We need to talk. My name is Claire. I've been married to Daniel for 11 years, and I'd been having an affair with Marcus for almost a year. I had spent months convincing myself that I was careful, that Daniel didn't suspect anything, that Marcus and I could keep our relationship hidden until I decided what I wanted. I was wrong about all three. Daniel and I met when we were 26. He was quiet, patient, and dependable. The kind of man who never forgot an anniversary. The kind of man who would drive across town at midnight if I needed help. For years, I thought that was enough. Then, somewhere along the way, I started wanting something different. I wanted excitement. I wanted attention. Again. I wanted someone to look at me like they couldn't get enough of me. Marcus did. He worked in the same building as me. Our relationship started with conversations, then lunches, then drinks, then messages late at night. Eventually, we crossed a line neither of us could uncross. The first time we kissed, I knew I was betraying Daniel. But instead of walking away, I kissed him again. The affair became my secret life. I had my marriage with Daniel, and then I had Marcus. Two different versions of myself. With Daniel, I was the responsible wife. With Marcus, I was the woman who felt young and wanted. I told myself that meant I was in love with Marcus. Now I realize I was in love with how I felt when I was with him. There was a difference. I just didn't understand it yet. Marcus started asking me when I was going to leave Daniel. Eventually. When? I don't know. You've been saying that for months. I need time. What are you afraid of? Everything. He would sigh. Then he'd tell me he understood, until he stopped understanding. About 2 months before that Sunday morning, Marcus started acting differently. He became nervous, distracted. He checked his phone constantly. I asked him what was wrong. Nothing. You've been weird. I'm fine. You don't look fine. He didn't answer. I assumed he was getting tired of the affair. I was right. I just didn't know why. Then Daniel started acting differently too. He became unusually calm. He stopped asking where I'd been. Stopped asking why I was working late. Stopped asking who I was texting. I thought that meant he trusted me. It didn't. One Friday night, Daniel asked me, Do you think people know when they're being lied to? I looked at him. What kind of question is that? He shrugged. Just wondering. I laughed. But inside, I was terrified. That night, I called Marcus. Did you tell Daniel? No. Are you sure? Claire, I haven't talked to him. He sounded angry. Then why are you asking? Because something feels wrong. Marcus was silent. Then he said, I think we should stop. I panicked. What? This isn't working anymore. Because of Daniel? Because of us. I begged him not to end things. He eventually agreed to keep seeing me. But something had changed. He no longer talked about our future. Then came Sunday. We were sitting in his car when he finally said it. I can't protect your secret anymore. I thought he meant he wanted to tell Daniel. Instead, he showed me the message. I know. We need to talk. I stared at the screen. How did he get your number? Marcus shook his head. I don't know. Maybe someone told him. Who? I don't know. Then Marcus showed me another message. It had been sent the night before. I'm not asking you to leave her. I'm asking you to tell her the truth. I couldn't breathe. Why would he say that? Marcus looked at me. Because he knows. I drove home. Daniel was sitting at the kitchen table, waiting. He looked at me. Did Marcus tell you? I stopped in the doorway. Tell me what? Daniel smiled sadly. He told you, I know. I sat down. For a few seconds, nobody spoke. Then Daniel asked, How long? I whispered, 11 months. He nodded. That's what I thought. I started crying. Daniel, I'm sorry. He didn't yell. That somehow made it worse. Why? I didn't know what to say. Why did you do it? I was unhappy. He looked at me. With me? With myself. That answer surprised even me. Daniel looked down. I wish you'd told me that before you found someone else. I started crying harder. Then I asked the question that had been haunting me. Why didn't you confront me? Daniel looked at me. Because Marcus did something I didn't expect. What? He told me he loved you. I froze. How do you know? Because he told me. I stared at him. Marcus had met Daniel. Without telling me. What happened? Daniel took a breath. He came to my office. When? 3 weeks ago. I felt sick. Why? To apologize. I didn't understand. Daniel continued. He told me the affair was his fault too. Daniel. He said he knew he had helped destroy my marriage. I covered my face. Then Daniel said something I never expected. He asked me not to hate you. I looked at him. Why? He said you were lost. I started crying. Daniel looked toward the window. And he said something else. What? He said he couldn't protect your secret forever. That was why Marcus had been acting differently. He hadn't been afraid of Daniel. He had been ashamed of himself. Marcus had realized that keeping the affair secret wasn't protecting me. It was helping me continue lying. The next day, I met Marcus. Why didn't you tell me you met Daniel? He looked at the ground. I was scared. Of him? No. Then what? Of realizing what we'd done. I started crying. Why did you tell him? Because he deserved the truth. You could have told me first. I tried. I looked at him. He continued. Every time I asked you to leave Daniel, you said you needed more time. I did. And every time you went home, you lied to him. I couldn't answer. Marcus shook his head. I realized I wasn't protecting you anymore. What was I protecting you from? The consequences. That sentence stayed with me. He was right. We had called it protecting our relationship. But really, we were protecting ourselves from the consequences of our choices. Marcus ended the affair. Daniel and I separated. For months, I lived alone. I expected to miss Marcus. I did. But not in the way I thought. I missed the excitement, the attention, the feeling of being wanted. But eventually, I started missing something else. My old life. Not because it had been perfect. It hadn't. Because I realized I had never given Daniel a chance to know what I actually needed. I had complained that he didn't notice me. But I had stopped telling him what I needed. I complained that we never talked. But I had started talking to someone else instead. I blamed the marriage for my affair. But the marriage didn't make the choice. I did. A year passed. One evening, Daniel and I met for coffee. I heard Marcus left town, he said. Yes. How are you? I'm better. He nodded. Good. I looked at him. Do you still hate me? He shook his head. No. How? Because I'm tired of being angry. I started crying. Do you still love me? He looked at me for a long time. Some part of me probably always will. But love isn't the same as trust. I nodded. I know. We didn't get back together. At least not then. We started talking again. Slowly, carefully, honestly. There were no secrets, no hidden phones, no deleted messages, no pretending. Eventually, we began rebuilding something. Not the marriage we had before. Something different. Something based on honesty. Years later, I still think about what Marcus told me. I can't protect your secret anymore. At the time, I thought he was betraying me. I thought he was choosing Daniel over me. Now I understand. He wasn't choosing Daniel. He was choosing the truth. And sometimes the person who exposes your secret isn't the person trying to destroy your life. Sometimes they're the person who finally realizes that keeping your secret is preventing you from changing it. Marcus couldn't protect my secret anymore. And losing that secret was the first step toward becoming honest about everything else. And I used to think the worst thing that could happen was for my husband to find out. I was wrong. The worst thing would have been for nobody to find out. And for me to keep living the same lie forever.